Hello, my name is Richard Dacre. We're here because the vast majority of Passport to Pimlico was shot just in that space behind me. We're in London. To get your bearings, this is the Lambeth Road. Going down a few hundred yards that way, you'll come to Lambeth Palace, the home and office of the Archbishop of Canterbury. Next to that, Lambeth Bridge, which crosses over the River Thames into Westminster. A few hundred yards in that direction, the Imperial War Museum. Passport to Pimlico is set in the sultry summer of 1947. It was actually shot in the cold, wet and wintry summer of 1948. Indeed, the bad weather was one of the reasons why the film went somewhat over budget and over time. In 1948, this area still bore the scars of the Second World War. And indeed, behind me, it was basically just a cleared out bomb site. And the art director of Ealing, Roy Oxley, decides to construct Miramont Place as a fully fledged three-dimensional set in that open space. When watching the film, one can only be impressed by how well they realised the design. It's totally convincing as a real street. Stretched down there, and on the left-hand side, you've got Edie's clothes shop, Hermione Baddeley, and beyond that, on a T-junction, Arthur Pemberton's general store, Stanley Holloway. On the opposite side of the road, as it curves round to the right, we've got the pub where Charles Hawtrey's Bert Finch works, and next to that, the fishmongers owned by Frank Huggins, played by John Slater. As for the bank, it's on the opposite side of the T-junction, just beyond Pemberton's shop. Behind that line of shops and houses, stretching down to the Lambeth Walk, is the empty space where Arthur Pemberton wants to construct the Lido for the kids. The bomb, the unexploded bomb, is just over there, which of course leads to the discovery of the historic papers. If that's all quite difficult to visualise, things become much clearer when you see this railway line, which stretches from Waterloo down to Vauxhall and beyond. This bridge here, crossing over Carlisle Lane, is where the horse and cart emerge at the beginning of the film, straight down here, over Lambeth Road, into Miramont Place. So behind me you can see the railway line once more, and that bridge is the main one that goes over the Lambeth Road. And you see this part of the railway line frequently in the film, not least when Burgundian sympathisers throw provisions over the barriers to help break the siege from a carriage stopped on that bridge. And during that scene, you'll see a lamppost in the centre of the road, and it's still there. And indeed, that lamppost was listed by English Heritage just last year in 2011, precisely because it appears in Passport to Pimlico. The building you can see behind me, now the Corner Cafe, lies between the two bridges. That building dates from the 1860s and therefore is seen frequently in the film. In those days, it used to be a pub called the Union Flag. The writer of Passport to Pimlico, T.E.B. Clarke, set the film in Pimlico rather than Lambeth, not only because the name Pimlico has a distinct foreign feel to it, also because it gives a lovely alliteration in the title, Passport to Pimlico. The main clues in the film that's actually here is one, you can see the dome of the Imperial War Museum in that direction, and also over the railway line you can see the towers atop the Palace of Westminster, the home of the British government, in particular Big Ben, more properly the Westminster Clock Tower, and Victoria Tower. Look carefully behind me, you'll be able to see the top of Big Ben. The building behind me dates from the 1880s. It's now the London Eye Hostel, a refuge for cash-strapped backpackers. Since it dates from the 1880s, you would expect to see this distinctive facade in the film, and indeed you do on several occasions, most notably perhaps right at the beginning when the children are playing in the wasteland before setting off the bomb. The other genuine exteriors in Passport to Pimlico, beyond stock shots, a brief sequence in Farringdon Road where you see some newspapers being distributed with Holborn Viaduct in the background, a favourite location of Ealing's at the time. More significantly, you see the evacuated children crossing over Piccadilly Circus to go to the now long defunct Eros News Theatre to watch a newsreel about the happenings at Miramont Place, before going off and enjoying a day at London Zoo where they watch the seals being fed, which gives them the idea of how to break the siege.